no point in swapping weapons right now because it's just going to make me manually swap again anyway. Dumbest change, I think, actually, now that I'm even more familiar with both, is forcing you to do this sequence again every time. In Black, if you make it through the sequence and make it to Mirai, the game doesn't actually force you to do all the platforming again. It'll just force you to do the part up until you get the Dark Dragon sword or Dark Dragon Blade, and then after that, you can when you skip the cutscene, it automatically boots you to the cutscene of Ryu and Rachel getting out of the volcano. And you basically get booted immediately into the Mirai fight after you grab the Dark Dragon Blade, instead of having to redo all of it. Okay. That is the wrong weapon. Alright. Whoa, when the fuck did he do that much damage to me? Oh. Wow, he's fast. Why is he so fast? I do not appreciate how quickly he transfers between combos. Okay. Whoa. You okay there? Video game? Okay. A little bit of a false start on that. Okay, what was my thoughts on the Warhammer run? Fuck! That's my thoughts. Fuck! I thought, you know, there were several moments where I was like, okay, this thing's actually pretty good. Okay, this thing's actually got some pretty strong things going for it. That forward X move, that fast attack is I think it's the fastest heavy weapon attack. And so like just with that and with all the with the way the 360Y works and the fact that it's a heavy weapon otherwise, the Warhammer has enough going for it that it should be fine to use. But for some goddamn reason, it's just weaker than the other heavy weapons. It's weaker than the Unlimited Flawlessness like 95% of the time. It's weaker than the Debilero. And just, I think it's weaker than the level 2 Debilero even. I've never compared the numbers. I'm sure when Guilty Gaming keeps on, as Guilty Gaming goes through his series, I'm sure we'll see how like the different levels of the Debilero compare to the Warhammer. But then there are weaknesses to heavy weapons in general in this game that I feel are exacerbated by the Warhammer's lack of damage compared to the others. Like, okay, I'll give it this. Against Nikke and Alma, the fact that you can do a forward X followed by a forward Y helps its damage output whenever they're downed immensely. But the lower range on the move that knocks them down, it just feels like a problem. I don't know. I felt pretty consistently like I was lacking range and I was lacking damage for how slow the weapon is. And that's like that's definitely the worst thing about it. I think in general, the weapon balancing in this game is pretty good among the archetypes, right? You've got your katanas, you've got the lunar, you've got the flails, and you've got the heavy weapons. And among those, there are reasons to use each and every situation. Or there are situations where you want to use preferred ones among them, right? Like the dragon sword, best weapon in the game. It can handle almost every situation. Some situations it's the best for. Even the situations where it's not the best for, it's still usable. The lunar, I found, was a pretty flexible weapon as well. And there were less situations where it was probably... The situations where the lunar is the best are not... It's not as far ahead of the other weapons as the dragon sword is whenever it's the best. The Warhammer just... I felt disappointed by it. Like, it starts off strong because, like, you're not meant to have heavy weapons before... Basically, before Alma, the game is not designed around you having heavy weapons. And in Vanilla Sigma, you can get the Debilero level 1 before you fight Alma. You can get it before you fight the Bone Dragon. Only in Sigma, though, not in Black. And, like, every chapter up until that point is not... Everything's weak enough that the heavy weapons really feel really, really powerful. Beyond that point, the Warhammer felt like good. Like, okay, this is a powerful weapon. It's a heavy weapon. It's going to be strong by virtue of being a heavy weapon. But when I was really lacking power, holy shit, did it feel like it was lacking power. And against Alma, it was fine. Against Awakened Alma, it was kind of bad. Against Nike and Ishtaros, what the fuck? And I suspect that the Debilero and the Dark Dragon Blade are not going to be as bad for those. Anyway. So that's another weapon playthrough knocked off the block. Yeah, I let him beat up on me a little too much in the first half. Hey ladies and gents, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. Also, follow me over on Twitch to catch my live streams and have a chat. I do this as a hobby, so thanks for the support.